What is up, everybody? Where is this squirrely guy? Hey, I was here when it said 9:15 still, so I'm on time. I may not be right at 9:15, but within that 60 seconds, I am here at 9:15 for sure. So, starting from the top, what's up, Dustin? How you doing? Those of you who don't know, this dude was in my wedding. This is actually one of my really good buddies. I've known him for a really, really long time. I'm actually going to be skydiving with him in June. We're going to be going skydiving. We're going to do tandem. It's going to be pretty sick. So I don't think he's here still. That comment was at 6:35 right after I posted that I was going live tonight. So we will see if he pops back up later or not. But Groundfog, how you doing? Glad to have you in the house. Neil McKenzie, welcome. Angelo, how you doing? So glad to have you. And Cole, never letting me forget that I spent $600 on a Nerf gun. Very much appreciate you. Just always reminding me that I spent $600 on a Nerf gun. That cost $20, really. So I appreciate that. That's very much a good highlight from my life. So yeah, Nathan, how you doing? Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here for sure. Actually, Nathan, I think, is gonna join us in a little bit, and then I forgot to send out links because I was had a long day in the wilderness today, so I forgot to send out some links. So just sent out a couple links out there, so we should have a couple guests coming through. I just sent one to Nathan. I just sent one to Stevie as well. Angelo, it was 9:15 when I joined. I'm gonna say it was 9:15 by my clock. So 9:15 here, 11:16 for you. That is brutal. Thank you very much for staying up late to join our late night live snacking. What's up, Chef Rocky? How you doing? Chef Rocky, please don't criticize my snack tonight. You have never criticized my snack before, but as someone who has a very fine palate, you, not me, as someone who has a very fine palate, you may not 100% agree with my snack tonight. So I apologize. I will up my game next week for sure. But yeah, I want to go on the forefront there and say I know my snack could be better. I didn't prepare. I went on a hike this morning and then came home and I had to take care of the kids and had to deal with all that fun stuff, and then made dinner tonight for the fam. So didn't have time to prepare. So yeah, what's up, Pocket Razors? I really love this. Coming in clutch. Yeah, suck it, Angelo. It's only 9:15 here. What's up, Pocket Razors? DSP's organic snout juice. No, it's not. It's 100% skydiving. We're going to go to like 10,000 feet and jump out of a plane and have a parachute help us safely land on the ground. It is not code for anything. So I will be doing that. And I'm not going to pay the extra for the video. I'm going to try and sneak in my own. Ask them if I can like have my own video. Can I risk my own stuff, hoping that I don't drop it and make my own video? But we'll see if they let us or not. They probably won't. But yeah. So yeah. What's up, Neil McKenzie? How you doing? Stevie's in the house. I believe so. So I skipped over Stevie. But yes, Stevie, what is up? Glad to have you here. Autumn Wind, welcome. Hello all from Autumn Wind. Hello all. What is up, Bless? How you doing? Bless, I was just telling everyone that tonight's snack is of no fine class or anything. And I know we've had conversations on these late nights before about how I need to refine my palate and get better food. So please don't judge me for tonight's snack. But before we go too far, I want to go ahead and welcome to the panel tonight, Nathan. Just the tip.
What's up, guys? Hope you're all having a wonderful evening.
That it is, Steve Clare. It is snack time.
You're going. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Dude, you're going skydiving? Have you ever been before?
No, I haven't.
How much fun.
I've done lots of so I've never done what we're doing now. I've done some of the previous stuff. I've done, what is it? I always want to say Get Air. I know that's not it, but iFly. That's what it is, which is the indoor skydiving.
Oh, the tubes with the giant fan.
I've done the iFly thing a ton of times. I've done the thing where you have the auto eject parachute before, so jumped out tandem with an auto eject parachute.
What the hell?
So you only go to like 5,000 feet or 7,000. You don't go as high as normal skydiving because there's no free fall. It's just like shoot, and the parachute comes out. Because when I was younger, I was gonna take a class to get like certified to jump, and then I ran out of money after like the first 4 classes, and I was like, yeah, I can't keep doing this. So
it's expensive.
I was looking at it and I was like, hey, if I really like this, is it worth it? And my buddy was like, dude, it's like $5,000 to get certified, and then you have to go like every 90 days or every like 60 days, and you've got to pay, like, if you don't have the equipment and stuff, you've got to pay like $400 every couple weeks to do it. To keep your certification. And I was just like, dang, yeah, I'll probably just do it once and have fun.
I've only ever been once a couple years back, and it was the coolest freaking experience ever. I would do it again. It's the realest sense of gravity one could ever experience. It's not like from the movies where like you could see them jump out. No, it's just straight down, and it's just straight plummeting to earth at full force. It's a really wacky feeling, but it's really cool.
I've talked to a couple friends who've done it, and they've been like, you won't regret it, just do it, it's gonna be amazing. And I was like, all right, here we go. So
it was my wife's idea, and all her family, they're like a bunch of older Hispanic people. They're like, oh, you're crazy, you're gonna die. Everybody was like praying for us and being a little over dramatic.
Did you do it with your wife?
So we were, I guess, tandem, if that's a proper term, or we were each strapped to a professional.
Yeah.
So she got, we still have some video of it. If I could find it, and I'll send it to you at a later time so you can see it. But the guy that she was strapped to, he's just like 6'3" tall, bald dude that looks like one of my grandpas. And then I'm stuck with this like super scrawny Hispanic dude that's tiny. And he told me, he's like, all right, whatever you do when we're inside the cabin, do not stand up all the way, because I'm gonna crack my head on the ceiling. Because when he's strapped to me, he's actually positioned a couple inches taller than me. Yeah. And it was just funny. I don't understand completely how that made sense, but they were telling us in the little training that we're picked based off of weight, so that we can kind of drop at a similar rate. Exactly. I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense. I got it.
I was gonna say they chose the smaller guy for you based off of weight, and the bigger guy for her based off of weight. But my buddy Dustin was like, hey, do you want to do this? And I said yes. And then I told my wife I was going to do it, and then she was like, hey, I've wanted to go skydiving forever, so why are you going skydiving with Dustin? And so I was like, we'll go again after I do it with Dustin once. But so I'm excited. So I'm going to go at least twice in my life, once with my buddy and once with my wife. But that's awesome.
Where's the jump location going to be?
Snohomish County. It's right up here in Washington. And so
nice.
It's like a 20-minute drive from where we're at now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Very local. I had to drive up to San Diego. It was like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah. We're going out of I think we're actually flying out of the local airport here in the small town that I'm in Arlington. So yeah.
Nice.
What's up, Neil McKinsey? How you doing? You can go ahead and continue saying hello to a couple other people. What's up, Cheeto Bandito? Max Cheeto Band. Arizona Spaghetti is a sex act in Peoria. Oh, that's really good to know. I didn't know that, Cheeto. Thanks for educating me on Peoria. And I thought that was just where they had like Cactus League baseball, but I guess that's where Arizona Spaghetti is as well. What's up, Lancelot Leather? How you doing, Joe? We've got some pretty exciting news actually with EDC Roundtable, and big shout out to Lancelot Leather for helping set some stuff up that we will announce a little bit later too. So y'all stick around. We're going to be talking a little bit about the EDC Roundtable casino coin that they're dropping, the poker chip that they are dropping here for a little bit, that is going to be linked to anyone who buys one of the poker chips. Is going to be entered into a drawing on June 1st on Stevie's channel. So we got a couple weeks left. I know I have mine queued up ready to buy with a little leather slip that I'll probably get later tonight after the live. So that's a pretty cool thing. But
So
duct
it's
tape your
a
phone
coin
camera
that has a leather slip.
Yeah, it's a poker chip coin. So instead of like a metal challenge coin, it's a poker chip coin. There's quite a few channels who are doing like poker chips now versus actual coins. I've got a couple poker chips. Let's see if I can find them. I've got one from Sharif. I've got one from CDC. I've got another one that I don't know what it is. So I've got 3. And EDC Roundtable did poker chips, and then Joe makes a Lancelot leather slip for the poker chips as well. So
Cool.
you can get that with the poker chip as well. So welcome to the panel. What is up, Stevie? How you doing?
Hey, Stevie.
Yo, what's up?
So we were just talking about the EDC Roundtable poker chip.
Oh, boom.
Yeah.
I can go all in.
Yeah. See? Those are the poker chips.
Nice.
Did you order yours today?
No, I had it set up. I didn't look at it until right before this, and so I have it on my laptop ready to get. I'm gonna get one of Joe's slips to go with it as well. So
Nice.
I figured,
Yo, what a bless.
yeah, I figured that slip's great, even if you, because I mean it'll fit most challenge coins too.
Yeah.
Whatever I want to carry, I can put it in that little slip and kind of keep it nice and stuff. So.
Well, I just got paid today, so I'll probably go into why not?
So Nathan, I don't know if you know, but EDC Roundtable, something I'm part of, Lancelot Leather, that's in here is part of, our buddy Forrest Hanks, Joe, or excuse me, Jax Lungs, who makes like pocket jewelry and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And then Chromatic EDC, who makes beads, makes his own resin and whatnot, and then makes lanyards and whatnot. We're part of the EDC Roundtable, and we just celebrated 2-year anniversary.
Nice.
And we have these these chips to commemorate it. And
That's
everyone that ends up picking up one of these is going to be entered into a pretty sweet giveaway that we got coming up.
Oh, nice.
Look who's in the house. Ethan Ruins EDC.
Ethan! Dude,
Ethan was the guy that you guys went hiking with today, right?
Yeah, he said he was going to be
Yeah.
watching video games tonight. Looks like he got pwned by some noobs. So he's sitting around with us now.
So glad to see the video update that you posted, Ethan. Ethan had a little
of his blade.
knife, a little knife mishap, and he was able to sharpen out the little ding that he got on it today.
Oh, dang. Did you smack it against a rock or something? What did he do?
Slid down the face of a little waterfall.
Oh, okay.
We've got another panelist joining us from the Southwest. The one, the only, the author, the creator, the designer, the mastermind behind the Phoenix and the Orion. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mattisfaction here. Woo!
Oh,
So
man.
excited to have you.
I brought watermelon for everyone.
Thank
Well, that's
you.
my time, folks. That's
I
my time.
appreciate that.
We got a big one sitting on the counter. We're waiting for this weekend to come around. Cut a watermelon up.
I actually have watermelon licorice that I'm eating right now.
Oh man, I got some fried rice with chicken and beef, some veggies, lots of hot sauce.
Here is if y'all are in the chat, Joe just posted the link to the poker chips. Follow that, get yourself a poker chip. You're going to be entered into an epic giveaway June 1st on Stevie's channel. While you do it, spend the extra like $17, get the slip. They're fantastic. They're made by Lancelot Leather. They're really good as well. And anybody who is going to do that tonight, I'm I'm actually going to announce I have a 10% off code with EDC Roundtable now. So,
Hell yeah.
Joe reached out and set it up for us and everything. So I'll put that in here. So if you go ahead and follow the link, you can use code WKB10 for 10% off at EDC Roundtable.
Any little bit helps.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Especially in California.
I'm by the way, I'm snacking on some granola bars,
Nice.
which are not good when you got cotton mouth like I got.
Yeah. You usually need moisture with those kind of granola bars.
Moisture.
They're yummy, but
I forgot that the stream starts at 9:15, so I was like, "Oh crap! It's almost time. Let me go grab something," because I hadn't eaten in a little bit. I was like, "I got some nuts and some like spicy beef jerky." I was like, "I'm freaking set." And then I look at the time, and it says, "Oh, it's actually starting in 15 minutes." I'm like, "Oh crap! Let me go whip something up right now."
What is up, Joe? How you doing? What is up, 0 Bytes 2000?
0 Bytes. Haven't seen you for a minute. What's
Yeah,
up?
it's been a long time, for me at least.
Dip it in
Drink
that-
water.
No.
How you doing? What is up, Goondocs?
Goondocs.
Goondocs. If you order a chip, you can use. There's quite a few codes. You can use WKB10. Be the first person to use the Work Knife Balance 10% off. I think you can use Maddie's, which is no ham sandwiches 10.
No ham sandwiches.
All the ham sandwich.
All the ham sandwiches. But
Is this Nathan's Knives?
this is just the tip EDC.
Just
Yeah,
the
close
two-
enough. Not too far
Okay.
out. Yeah, Nathan's Knives. He's in Texas, I believe. Super
Oh,
cool
sweet.
dude. But yeah, my name is also Nathan. I do the Just the Tip EDC channel, little channel.
Nathan, just okay.
What up,
Okay.
Rock Rock?
What's up, Mark Barks? How you doing?
By the way, and I'll talk to you more about it later. This is one of the
Very
knives I
important.
want to send you.
Oh, nice. What's
It's
the?
it's got the dude that I got it from did a really crappy ano job on it. It's like this weird purpley iridescent. It's not good.
Send me some
but-
pictures of that. That looks
Just
pretty.
Yeah, I figure it'll come right off. He's wasn't any sort of an expert anodizer, but this is one of their
Far
200.
from it. as well.
This is, I believe, a 2015 model Gavco collaboration.
Okay. Is that
This
from
is,
when it
well-
used to be drop.com or whatever it's called?
Before that, even this is one of their U.S. mid-techs,
Oh shit.
basically customs. So
Okay. Cool. I'm excited to receive it and check it out. I actually got in a little Ferrum Forge recently on Blade Binge. Some guy was selling a full
Smear?
Tyson. No inlay, it's just a regular one. These things are almost $200 if you don't really get them on sale. That's a nice one. They're kind of up there for what they are, but
all Ferrum Forges are kind of up there for what they are.
yeah,
They're my favorite. I got like 30 some Ferrum Forges, and I've been saying as of recent, a lot of you're paying the Ferrum Forge name tax on a lot of their stuff.
That sounds delicious.
Ross, ooh, curious.
this was basically brand spanking new, not used at all, not even broken in for $80. And I was like,
Yeah.
hell,
I was gonna say
That's
I
solid.
saw that one on Blade Binge, I think, and I almost, but I was like, man, 6 knives. This is so hard. So
That's a solid knife for
Mhm.
$80.
oh, $80, I am over the moon with this thing. I'm planning to do a couple little projects. I have a Dremel
Oh,
on,
Mark, awesome.
yeah. So
what's up, Tactical Terry? How you doing? And then
Want to
check
start
this out.
doing
Mark Parks picked up that Mako.
That's awesome.
some barking or some stonework or just some little stuff that's kind of organic to kind of hide some inconsistencies as a noob, pretty much.
So does no one else eat watermelon with chopsticks?
Yeah. Are you eating watermelon with chopsticks? Tactical
Yeah.
Terry was wondering.
I am. I don't want sticky fingers.
Are you stabbing each like cube with the chopstick, or are you actually picking it up?
Unlike certain Asian people in the chat, I know how to use chopsticks.
Jeez. Wow. It's a little.
I
little
wouldn't dare
aggressive
eat
there.
ramen with a fork
It was pho.
or whatever.
What's
Yeah.
up, Crispy?
Ethan, they thought it was funny when I took a picture of when we went to pho that you were using a fork and spoon and I was using. Yeah,
I love you, Ethan.
not cool, bro. Not cool.
I'm just
What's up, Mind of Milton? How you doing?
heck yeah, Goondocks.
Nice, Goondocks. By the way, Goondocks, one of your stickers is what I have set aside to start. I started with my B up sticker, and I'm going to start tossing some others. And my Goondocks sticker is going to go on there.
That's a good idea. I just got this mug. Could use a few stickers.
I always get torn with where I put my stickers and how long they're going to be there. I think cups and mugs are the most common that I put them on, but I always think too, like, because I do so much at work with paper, maybe I'll put them all on a binder, because I have like paper binders that I take to and back. But
I got this laptop for school, and I have a bunch that I'm placing. Every time I get a new sticker, I will set up from a previous picture that I took to see the placement, because I don't want things overlapping here, but I want to fill this front face up, or I guess the back of the screen. But on the front, I just have a Wii and then DLT trading, and that's there's a what is this thing? The forest from
Dylan Mallory?
Yeah, Dylan Mallory. I bought a knife from him, and he sent a bunch of little stickers. I was like, oh, that fits in the little skinny little spot right there.
I'm the bear that Stevie would have to pop. I don't go
Oh,
down.
Speaking of stickers, a couple of vandals.
Oh yeah. Oops.
I have to order more big stickers because I only have those little ones left. I don't have any more. I've got one more of these big ones, and I use it at the beginning of all my videos. So I was like, I have one big sticker left.
Zug Monster is having a wicked sale right now.
I just saw that text message earlier today, 40% off for the 3-inch stickers right now. Yeah.
And Steve, it's been a while, but when I took this apart, I want to put a D10 ramp on this one.
Oh yeah.
Steve
that
was
the-
asking me when the last time I did a D10 ramp was.
You got that's the Dow?
No, it's a Migaron Korvog.
Oh dude, that's
Korkai.
come on, man.
Corsair.
Koraki? It's something.
Come
Is
on,
it
man.
Migron or
That-
Amate? I mean, it's the same company, I guess, but
That's the Fair and Forge buck, bro.
Oh, it is similar.
That's the Fair and Forge buck, bro.
Oh,
that's dangerously close right there.
that is really close.
You look at the butt, and that's pretty much the butt and the back
The
end.
handle's different. I mean, there's definitely you can say there's some differences, but
I think there's more of a swoop on the Migron. The Fairhorn Forge has more of a straight edge coming down like a reverse Tonto versus a clip point.
I think there's too many similarities to say that that's not heavily.
I should
I
send
would
it to you.
agree with you. I would agree with you, but yeah, that
How old is that one?
This came out in like 2018, probably.
Okay, I think this was last year.
that one was 2 years ago.
There's a little like new brand I think I saw on White Mountain Knives. It's like Venom Tech or Viper Tech or something like that. They're, kid you not, and I know plenty of people have probably said this about other knives, but I kid you not, it's like copy and paste Benchmade bug.
Yeah,
Exact freaking thing.
Steve, today we just parked on the side of the road. So you don't need a Discovery Pass to park on the side of the road.
Nope. But I was going to mention to you guys, that's not a bad thing to invest in.
You know where I work. Do you think I don't have one?
Oh. I did think of that.
It was pretty funny though, because people would always be like, "Hey, can I?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, you can use these for like pretty much everything, and you need one pretty much everywhere you go now."
Yeah.
Like, it surprises me because like 10 years ago, you could go places and not have to worry about it. There are so many places that you have to have some sort of parking pass everywhere for state and federal parks.
You know what? We all pay our taxes. All of that should be free regardless.
You tell them, Maddie.
So what I don't disagree. However, the Discovery Passes go to the National Forest Service or the U.S. Wildlife. I forget which one exactly, and they really do a good job on the trails all throughout.
But couldn't the government just pay them to do that anyway with our tax money?
It's not at all what happened, Steve Clear.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that, but at least I know that money isn't being misused by the government, who's misusing the funds that they should be using. That's why we have to supplement it. And they do a good job at going above and beyond with trail upkeep around here. And so I don't mind, and I always donate to, I forget what else, but I use the trails enough that, and again, they really do a good job. It's the asshole people out there that sometimes, it wasn't bad at all today, but a lot of times you do see a fair amount of trash out there. We talked about that a couple times.
I'm gonna say the first hike we did when we went out to the ice caves, we saw more garbage than I expected to see, and it was frustrating more than not at that trail because, like we had talked, the trail's a mile and a half, maybe a mile to a mile and a half. It's like 2 to 3 miles round trip. It's flat pretty much the whole way, so it's just pretty much walking. And there's garbage cans, like big dumpsters and garbage cans at the main trailhead. So everything that people are taking out, you passed garbage cans to take this trail, and you just refuse to bring it back and throw it away. That's the most frustrating thing. It's like you could have at least just, like the backpack you're carrying it out there with, just put your empty in the backpack and then empty it when you get back. That's the most frustrating part.
Pack it in, pack it out.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steven, when I was watching your video about hiking today,
Mm-hmm.
there was a portion where you had said, "Oh, we came to a fork in the road." I swear I was preparing myself for you to pan down to a little plastic fork just sitting in the road. I was like, that's his humor. There's got to be a plastic fork on the floor. But it wasn't.
No, it was an actual fork, but yes, that would have been
It's funny that you're
100%
talking
what I
about
did.
Like, oh, yeah, that's what I remember thinking that watching the video.
His next video, though, there's going to be a fork now.
I try not to like stage too much of it. So like, and just make it natural of like, hey, here's this, like the first one we did where we found the shoe rubber, the sole and stuff like that. I don't stage any of that. I just like let it happen because I don't want it to be too like obvious that it's like I'm that stupid. But so but there are times where I've thought of like a joke and I'm like, man, is that ever naturally going to happen? Probably not. So I could make it happen.
So you just become a dad, and then just the wisdom of fathers from past have just, flooded into your mind, making all these horrendous dad jokes.
Exactly what it is. I do want to shout this out. So I had licorice a while ago for like 2 weeks in a row, different types of licorice. And then Sharif sent me this, like, he's like, hey, go check out licorice.com. So I went to licorice.com and
there's a licorice.com.
Yeah. And I got like one of their starter packs. and a Mother's Day pack. And so I got there's 6 little half-pound packs for my wife, and I got 3 1-pound packs for me. And that was part of her Mother's Day present.
Wow.
And so it was actually pretty good.
Is it fresh half
a
off?
small batch, locally made?
It's artisanal.
No, is it like made with cane sugar and all organic ingredients?
It's made with all organic ingredients.
Wow.
And the people that actually work at the factory, like they're good, decent folks.
I've
Like,
met every single one of them. I think they're
they
fantastic
lead
people.
good, wholesome lives.
I would vouch for all of them.
What type of jerky is it? What country of origin?
It's licorice.
Licorice.
You have like
Oh,
Twizzler
you
style,
Oh,
like Australian jerky. That looks like Australian jerky.
they have different types. So they have they've got like a sour type, a gummy type, they've got a pretzel type, they've got a spaghetti type, they've got the soft type, then they've got like the soft Australian, they've got regular Australian, they've got a ton of different types. It's
Classic
like
butter
Australian.
caramels, Australian red licorice, and cinnamon sugar twist pretzels, all for 3 tubes each. $15 a piece. That's not bad. $45.
Not bad. Is there black licorice?
there is, it's
Dude.
disgusting.
Is it half off?
My wife loves black licorice, so I got her some.
Ew.
Delicious.
Brother,
What's up, Kyle? How you doing?
What's up, Kyle? Cole, go to bed. Just need to
Black
verify.
licorice or nothing.
Oh, okay.
What is up, Cole?
It hasn't changed, by the way.
Y'all have a good night.
Nighty night, Ethan.
Mhm.
Ethan
You
should
had a
come
long day,
by.
buddy. You had a long day.
Talk
We
to
said
him.
we were gonna meet at like 7:15, and then I just realized because I got on Instagram like an hour ago. Ethan messaged at like 6:30. He was like, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
already here." I was
Yeah,
like, Ethan, you're like 45 minutes early, man.
yeah.
The poor guy was just waiting the whole time.
Mm-hmm. I tried to make it better. I tried to get him some donut holes with like sprinkles all over him, make his day good, but he couldn't eat them. I pulled up to the coffee shop and I was like, "This looks like something I would get for like a little brother, so I'm gonna get it for Ethan."
little crack holes.
Ethan just wanted to set the parking standards first.
Yeah, I will say,
That's not even known as soft Australian.
my
Steve,
right knee definitely. I tweaked it doing something. It's not horrible,
Mhm.
but man, it was starting to bug me when we were on our way back, and right about now, I actually feel it now.
Yeah.
Would you tweak?
My knee. I don't know what I did.
I'm pretty sure it was when we were going over that scramble area. I saw your foot kind of slide and it looked weird. Like from my angle, I was like, that doesn't look good. But then you kept walking and I was like, oh, maybe it's totally fine.
Yeah, I don't know when I did it. I just gradually started to feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's all right. I'll walk it off.
Nah, there's no muscles around the knee. It's all ligaments and tendons. You be careful.
There's no muscles around your knee.
I mean, you had the one over the kneecap. Well,
There's a muscle on my wee knee.
you just be careful, Stevie. Knees don't really heal; they get repaired.
I know.
And if you ever want to know how that happens, you can Google it and watch a YouTube video, and it's terrifying.
It is
watching it.
absolutely terrifying.
It's kind of cool.
Are you kidding? When they put like the wrench in there, and then you see the doctor like whoop-bam, 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 breaking it apart. It's like, nope. Mm-mm.
That
My
shows
grandpa-
how-
when I had to have a cyst removed, my grandpa had taken me to the hospital, and it was an in and out procedure, real quick. On the way back out, though, I'm kind of coming out of the anesthesia, and he's carrying like a DVD case. I'm like, what do you got there, Grandpa? And he's like, they gave me the doctor's room or the operating room surgery footage of a kneecap replacement, a hip replacement, and like something else. He loved watching that shit. And, like, he put it in, and yeah, it's literally like the overhead, like training videos or whatever, and it like zooms in and zooms out.
Yeah.
And dude, the hip replacement one was like literally, they had like a big, like they were batoning through the hip joint, dude, with like a big hammer and this mallet. And...
It's horrible sounding.
Yeah. Todd, they bring up it was crazy.
They're brutal.
But yeah, Kyle, today Steven just posted his video. Mine will be up in the morning. Me, Steven, and Ethan went out for a hike today, and we did not get a Battle Billy yet.
I thought we were going to when we hit that first cave, but then after you get in 10 yards or so, you can see the ending on the other side, and you're like, okay, cool, nothing's in here.
I remembered on our way out there that if we were able to make it that far, that we'd encounter those couple of caves. And I was like, yeah, I'll just keep that quiet. Let it surprise them.
It didn't bother me at all. I'm like, cool, here's a surprise.
Oh. My dream.
Oh, yeah, your daydream. Or
Yeah.
your dream from your nap. But yeah.
So I came home. I took about a 30-minute nap before Maddie's live. And I had a little dream. Remember we were talking about the erosion spot?
Yeah.
Well, I had a dream that everything started to erode. Like we were literally back on the trail, and the trail started eroding. And the part where we had to, where that kind of the rock slide was, where it got a little dicey.
Yeah.
So I kind of wrapped my arms around one of those boulders when we were coming down, and it had gone through my mind and came to life in my dream that when I hugged it and stepped down, that I pulled the boulder down and it started to break loose, and that's when I awoke.
The hell?
Did you see it all? What was there before?
What do you mean?
Like, because we saw like the retaining wall area. Did you like see if it was just a wall or if there was like a building or anything like that?
No, I did not. But, like literally, like everything, like it was more like sand though that was like coming down,
Mhm.
and I mean, it lasted for all of, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds it seems like. But I was like, oh, that's weird. We were talking about that.
Yeah,
And then I drifted off and imagined it.
that's kind of crazy.
And it
I didn't
rose.
get to sleep yet. So I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Midnight, what up, dude?
Midnight.
What is up, Midnight? How you doing?
Anyone who gets affected by Taco Bell has a weak stomach.
Yeah, you just can't handle greatness.
Nah.
Authentic Mexican food.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that's real because Nathan's Mexican.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Steven got to check out the Sharif prototype today.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this last week or not, Nathan. This is Sharif Manganis' new Manganis Steel prototype, made by Riot.
Really exaggerated drop point, or does that have a little clip to it?
It's more of an exaggerated drop point.
It's so nice, dude. I was messing with it today, and it is absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Is it
gonna It's
Make
gonna be if I only get 4 knives next year, 2 of them will be that knife.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I really liked it a lot.
Who's gonna make it?
Riyadh.
It's Riyadh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, titanium.
I also
Frame
hope my
lock.
wife doesn't watch this and say, "Oh, 4 knives next year. That's a good idea."
Magna cut.
4 knives per quarter.
That would be much better because then that could be more than one a month.
Yeah.
And blade shows don't count.
Man,
Those
Blade-
are
Blade shows. Like
you should be my negotiator. Here's a third-party negotiator. They've got no say, no kind of sit in this, whatever. I don't know him at all. The name's
Yeah.
Matisfaction. I know it sounds familiar, but trust me, you've never heard it before.
Satisfaction.
I'm trying to clean up some of my knives from the hike because I was stabbing them into a ton of trees and stuff.
How many did you take with you?
You got the Wienermobile?
We got the Weenie Mobile.
What the fuck is that?
It goes with my fidget.
Wow. What the hell? That's actually cool.
Oh, you think that's cool? Wait till you see the world's greatest knife.
Oh
Show
god.
an auto though.
Yeah, it's an auto.
It's the fastest hot dog this side of the Mississippi.
Jesus Christ.
Is there a faster one on the other side of the Mississippi?
I don't know. I've only been there once, and this didn't exist yet.
Uh,
The mighty Inner Warrior.
Steve Clare, you know what? I know what Inception is, but I've never actually seen Inception.
It's such a good movie.
That's what everybody says. It's just one of those that I don't know why. And I love Leonardo DiCaprio.
If you love him so much, why don't you marry him?
Is that a Leonardo DiCaprio movie?
Yeah.
It is.
I would marry him.
It's got Leo, and then it's got Juno, and then it's got
Michael Caine.
yep, and it's also got the guy from the cancer movie.
The what?
Tom Hanks?
Nope, different cancer movie.
Oh, that's eight.
That's
Sorry.
AIDS, yeah.
I was thinking Philadelphia. And it's also it's a Chris Nolan movie, right?
He also plays in a BMX movie. I really Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Very specific.
There's the only 2 movies. There's a movie where he plays a cancer patient, and he like shaves his head, and his buddy shaves his head because he only got so much time to live. And then I don't remember the movie, but I think he ends up like beating cancer, and then he's like, "What? We did all this stuff." Ah. But then he also is a BMX like delivery driver or delivery rider in like New York as a bike delivery messenger for one. Those are
Okay.
the only other movies I can remember him from.
Oh,
No, he's in Looper, and he's in 500 Days of Summer as well.
Third Rock from the Sun.
Third Rock from the Sun. Yep, that probably would have been a much better reference.
the movie. None of those movies I have seen. So
500 Days of Summers with Zoe
Zoe
Deschanel.
Deschanel. Mhm.
I always get that one and 30 Days of Night confused.
Yeah. Watch it, Leo. Leo couldn't marry you, so you're over 19. I think his cutoff is actually 23, Kyle.
Oh, man.
But
Read his Rogan comment.
So, yeah, if I had a nickel with Seth Rogen.
that's the cancer one is with Seth Rogen.
Well,
Midnight knows what movies I'm talking about. What's up, sharp guy? How you doing?
Mr. ATX.
I can negotiate for you. You might end up in a divorce, but I can negotiate that too. Thank you for the offer, Kyle. I'll keep it in mind.
I like that you like read the comments way later.
Hey, everybody does it. I'm just joining the group, okay? I'm here trying to like get my knives all stropped up and resharpened and get some oil on them because I used them today.
Some guys just eating some nuts. So.
Cutting stuff, and so yeah. I also had to clean a couple of blades because I stabbed them into some trees and then they got some gunk on them.
Some pretty hardcore use, man.
Yeah, I was.
We all tested our knife on that same branch.
Yeah.
S45, LMAX, and Magnicud.
Mm-hmm.
And the conclusion was
they all shaved.
all
well,
pass.
They all did the exact same thing.
I'm just gonna say that mine went first, so I had to take the thickest part off.
Biggest dent.
Yeah.
I will say the edge geometry of my Harsey was not. I wasn't impressed actually by the shaving. This definitely needs. I need to touch up the edge.
Yeah.
And this is also
Medium.
going to be going into
Sawtooth
to do a hollow, but kind of leave the not quite compound grind it, but leave the tip a little bit more robust, similar to what he did to Crispies.
Yeah. Huh. Actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, I think that would actually be pretty freaking sweet for some to keep a lot of the tip strength.
Yep.
I will say mine is I'm pretty sure stock. I don't know, this is not a regrind at all. And mine did perfectly fine. So
yours did actually do
mine
I would say performed better than mine did for sure.
Yeah, mine did really well.
It might have been the best.
It reminded me of the Monocala.
You love that knife so much.
It's freaking awesome. It's so freaking cheap, and there's just so much knife here for the money. It's just I love it just for that. But this has the cheapest, shallowest hollow I've ever seen, and honestly, it's still a wonderful performer. But there's still about an inch of that tip where it's still flat ground. So that's
yeah.
But yes, I but it's such a great knife.
One of my
I like
favorite
flat grind knives because you can then leave it up if someone wants to. They can get a hollow grind on it, versus they can keep it flat. But if you do a hollow grind, you can't really go back to a flat.
No.
I mean, maybe.
Really should.
I mean, it depends on how hollow the grind is and what the thickness is behind the edge. But yeah, I think it's harder.
Can't
How would be
you?
that grind?
Couldn't you use like? Never mind.
It's easier to dig a hole than it is to build them all.
I know. You know, one of my favorite hollow ground blades for slicing. Have you guys ever checked out the AV&T, the Avant?
Yeah, I used to have that same one.
That's a cool clip.
The tip was just a little too up there for me. For what I do, and I couldn't justify keeping it. It is a really good looking knife, and the whole deployment is just freaking superb.
Yeah. I'm really antsy to get a hold of the US production.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie, that would look sick with a hollow.
A deep hollow. I like
A
deep
couple-
hollow.
A couple of weeks ago, Blade HQ was selling off some of the first production AV&Ts with the full micarta,
Yeah.
but they were still kind of up there, and I was actually very tempted to buy it again because I did enjoy the knife enough.
I mean,
Get
this.
For one.
So I've had both versions, and I will say this is another knife that my biggest complaint about it was the price point.
Mm-hmm.
But because I like the knife so much, it doesn't bother me.
It did come with a couple, some cool, goodies, some like
Oh,
stick
yeah,
like
there's
out-
flag and everything.
patch, something like that. It was a nice unboxing experience for sure. But
You like a deep grind, Maddie?
I do.
Yeah, that's where I was a little torn on that one.
I will say I've really liked everything that Luft has done. I like the RCB that they just released. I had Jake had sent me the prototype of that.
That really wacky clip
Yeah.
hollow thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
But then they just partnered. I forget who they just partnered with for that integral. That looks just like the company that's producing its own model, and it just doesn't. And maybe it's a button lock. I'll have to find it. I wasn't really impressed by that. I thought it was an interesting choice for them. Let's see. But the guys over at Luft Concept are really cool. Jake and Ryan are cool dudes.
I wish it would make more content because I actually like their setup. Very easy to follow along with. It's not super scatterbrained.
And so I've been following since I've been into YouTube. Really, I've been following Jake Bearded Gear because before I started doing what I'm doing now, I thought about doing this. Going back 4 or 5 years ago, thought about doing a YouTube channel, and I was like, well, what's my name gonna be? I'm into beards. I'm into gear. Bearded Gear, and I typed in Bearded Gear just to see what was out there, and it was literally what I thought I would name my channel was already taken, and it was Jake. So I started watching his channel just because of that. I thought he was like
having issues.
I thought he was like an arrogant asshole. And then I met him, and
you were right.
Farthest from it. He's a funny, awesome, doesn't take himself seriously at all, dude.
That's cool.
Oh, you got the Serrano. That's right. Hell yeah, Terry. All right, I will be right back. I'll dismiss myself so you don't have to stare at this.
I keep forgetting to put this clip on, and so I figured while I'm sitting here and I saw your clip, I should put this clip on.
I've
There we
streamed.
go. Oh. Someone else. So I will say, every time I hear people say that comment, and you know it now too because you've been doing you make content and stuff. I used to think the same thing, like, man, I want them to make more content, or I want this, or I want that. And then after I started making content and doing stuff, I realized how much it actually takes, like how much it takes out of your time if it's not your full-time job or anything, to make content and do stuff like all the time. And so I fully relate when people are like, yeah, I want more content. And then I'm like, man, you don't realize how hard it is to make a video, have it edited, have it come out every day, have all this stuff going on. It's tough to keep up with stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, there was like a week and a half went by between my last 2 videos, and I didn't have anything. Well, I mean, I always have stuff that I want to share, but I don't have usually the appropriate time. Like, I'm here in my garage, and I mean, I got a full-time plus job. I got things to do from other hobbies and stuff that need attention. But yeah, sometimes like in the back of my head, I'm like, is this worth sharing? Do people actually care? But then I watch other channels' content, and it's just about the weirdest stuff. Things that are like, oh, you spent a long time making this video. I still watched it. I still liked it. It was my background noise, at least. But yeah, I mean, some people just have a little bit more time on their hands, I suppose.
Yeah. I think that, or I mean, it is just a priority. Like, there's times where I make it a priority and I can bust out videos for a week or so to get stuff posted. But then if I don't make it a priority, it definitely falls. So Tactical Terry almost cut yourself. I think he's talking about the Serrano. Almost cut yourself immediately because you forgot it was sharp on both sides. I think he's talking about the Serrano. What's up, Winchester? How you doing? Winnie the Pooh. Found all the jumping aggressive yet soft. Squeezed it as hard as I could and felt zero hot spots. That's awesome. See, Cheeto, if you're still here, how much are you going to sell me the Serrano for? 'Cause I really want the Serrano. I really love the look of the Serrano. I was telling Stevie today, Bless just sent over a picture of the fixed blades that he's done because I reached out to Bless and said, hey, could you, after Blade Show, let's start conversation about making me a fixed blade. Not that I want to like design one. I want a fixed blade from Bless Knives. And so I was going to have Bless Knives start helping me with a fixed blade after Blade Show because I know he's focusing on some of that stuff. So what's up, Patina? How you doing? Patina Turner.
There's a dude on Instagram. He goes by Septum Knives. I was showing my wife's cousin like stuff about my hobby and things like that, and he's just like, dude, that's so weird. I have a buddy that I went to high school with, a homeboy of mine, and he makes custom knives. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, show me his page. So I check it out. Dude, he's working with just beautiful materials.
Really?
A lot of the stuff that he works with is it may not it's bordering practical versus fantasy looking knives, but the quality's there, and it is, you know, fully made in the US. And I mean, he has a couple I guess easier to work around platforms or shapes, you know, certain like specific blade shapes, like a drop point or something, like a broader drop point. It's a very attractive looking shape, but there's a couple other silhouettes that are kind of like weird and wacky that are more for the collector, of course. But yeah, I mean, you should check them out. Septum Knives. I'll probably send it to you through Instagram if you're not able to find it at the moment.
Yeah.
But he does really cool work. I don't know what it looks like for getting an order through with him. I've never, you know, inquired about that, but I mean, the quality's there, and he's doing some really beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I think that's the other thing too is Stevie said it on Maddie's earlier. Like anytime y'all work with any of these smaller companies or makers or designers or whatever, and they're on Instagram or they're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever they may be, you should be tagging them anytime you post their stuff and putting it out there, because it just helps them build their brand, especially if you like it and appreciate it. Yeah. Not from a marketing standpoint or anything, purely from a like, people are going to see them because you are tagging them, because now the algorithm knows people want to see them. Like if you don't tag them, if you don't tag them, they're not going to get that exposure. So like as we talk about these people and as we talk about these like companies and stuff, like make sure you're tagging them, make sure you're putting those things in there, like Stevie was saying earlier, because it really helps them. I know I'm really bad at it because I'm really bad at social media, but that's why I have Post Malone running my Instagram account, and so
like and you can, you know, get to know those folks by doing that. Like Maddie has got to know RMR and again, I forget the estuary.
High Water Knives, you know. They thanked me every time I shared their stuff.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. They do appreciate it.
Yeah. They appreciate it, and then there's so many times where then they start, you open a conversation with someone, and a lot of these makers are, I think sometimes because they run a company and they're doing these social medias, there's this mindset of they're this business, they're this kind of entity over here that's unapproachable. But as soon as you do that, 9 times out of 10, I have companies or people or the maker or the designer approach you and be like, hey, thanks for doing that. Glad you really appreciated this, or glad this, and you open up the conversation, and then you're like, oh, this is a really cool person.
Yeah.
So,
It's
Don't get too deep because then before you know it, they're always asking you, what should I do about these thumb studs? And they start like, hey, why don't you review my prototype for me? And
So with
Sounds like
Remet,
you have a specific thing in mind that you're thinking about.
with Remet knives, they were the first company to ever actually reach out anything for free. I was just like, oh my god.
I turn those guys down.
am I frozen or is he?
And
He's frozen.
Okay.
hello.
Uh-oh.
I just realized that Patina is not a mod, and then I logged on to the actual link, and people keep freezing out Patina.
Let's see if I have it here. But Remet sent me, like, the last thing that they sent me was a little budget knife, and I was honest with them. I told them that I wasn't the biggest fan of some of the little designs of the knife, and they just stopped talking to me completely. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that'll happen too.
This little dude. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you see something that looks like this?
I don't know. That's
5.5.
There's a Kubi that looks like that.
Exactly. The F5.5. I mean, this is not copy and paste F5.5. I made a review on this guy. This is the RT Seahorse. And there are a lot of things. I've owned 3 F5.5s, and it's a wonderful knife, which absolutely needs the hollow grind because it's. I think this would be awesome with.
I know someone that got a hollow grind on their lefty. Got a Knife Modders did a hollow grind on it, and it messed it up.
What?
It, like the blade was no longer in balance, and it wouldn't center, and don't know if. So I know someone that tried to fix it, and he's like, the grind is good. It messed with it completely.
Later, Terry.
I think that they're releasing one in a titanium Magnica hollow ground.
I absolutely am gonna get that because I miss the compact nature of the F5.5 and the blade shape.
Uh-oh. Your wonkiness.
He's freezing up. I made Patina a moderator, and now he can't get locked out.
Oh,
This
Rookie move.
looks like a lot of other things out there, and based off of what you guys have shown me that you're capable of, there are some things that are here that should not be. And they said, okay, thank you for your feedback, and that was it. And then right after that, about a couple weeks later, they released a butt ton of premium models, and I reached out to them, and just silence. Absolutely. I was just like, wow, all right. So
yeah.
They reached out when they released their newest premium one, and they were like, "Hey, we saw that you reviewed because I reviewed the Peacock after you sent it to me, and stuff." And they're like, "Hey, we saw you did this. We have this new one coming. Go ahead and buy it on Amazon, and then after you show your video, after you share your video, show us send us a link to the video, and send us your Amazon purchase, and then we'll reimburse you." And
That's
to me,
quite
that
cool.
was iffy because I was like, you want to see my review to see if I did something good, and then you'll do it. And I was like, I don't really want to buy your knife. It doesn't appeal to me. And I don't want to buy it and then you not like my review and then me be stuck with it.
yeah. That's dude, that's so weird. So they have done that now with me 3 times where they would send me a link through Amazon. I would buy it, and they would reimburse me right away. But
Yeah, I've done that with other companies
with
before.
that, I'm completely cool with that because it is in a way like getting a free knife, and I'm okay with that. And I told them, I
But-
said, with knives that you guys provide to me, I will not be selling them because I don't, feel right about that. And I'll do a giveaway if that's cool, just to get more brand exposure. And the Instagram contact that I'm sure was the one who has talked to you guys as well.
Talking about Remet Todd Carr.
Yeah, Remet. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Thank you for the exposure. Any little bit helps. If you know any other content creators, go ahead and let them know that we're pumping out a bunch of designs, and we would like to get community feedback." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I feel like I'm actually contributing to something here."
I also know now after seeing Pickled Steel. So like I have the Peacock here. I bought the pink one and then I put the pink on the inside as well.
Yeah.
And then so I've got the pink scales with the blue spacer, and that's Ashley has this in her car, and this one's the one that I carry. But they Pickled Steel works with Remet. That's who does all of their knives, OEMs, all their stuff. And Remet allows Pickled Steel to use their designs. So Pickled Steel has this exact same design. It's not called the Peacock, it's called something else. But they used Remet's exact design and just remade it. And like I was talking to Pickled Steel about their company, and
Which company?
Pickled Steel. And so it was, I was talking to them about their company, and I asked why the name. So there's a couple things behind the name. One, his daughter's nickname is Pickle. So they would call her Pickle, and they're a South African company. And then the other thing too was anytime you pickle something, it makes it better. So he talked about like pickled eggs, pickled this, pickled that, like it makes them better.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And so his whole thought is they take knives and they make them better. So they talk about really just taking other designs, changing one or two things and making them better. And I was like, I don't know if you can say that. And then he's like, these are our designs. And I was like, I don't know if I didn't necessarily agree with that. I was like, I don't know if you can necessarily, like, even if the company says it's okay, I don't know if I would say like, here's my design. It's like, well, you changed like less than 10% of the design.
Yeah.
Well, they're taking other people's designs.
So they're working with
They're improving them.
They're working with like other companies, and they're getting approval. They're not like stealing it outright and changing things. And then they also have some of their own designs that they do. So they've got like 5 to 7 of their own designs, but then they've got a bunch of Remet designs that they've worked with Remet. Remet says, yes, you can use these. Yes, you can rename them. Yes, you can change little things. I couldn't find a single thing they changed on like this one or one of the other Remets.
Their brand
And
do a different logo, or
yeah, they do a different logo. They have an SP on it for Pickled Steel, but
Can I see an example of what you're taling about?
yeah.
'cause
Let me
I
see if I can
would
find
definitely like to look into that. And if they're really I guess a community based company that likes to improve little things and determining percentages of what's changed, like if the clip is here and it's brought down to here, so it's not a hot spot in the palm, is that 3%? Is that 5% of a difference? So it's kind of difficult to talk about like percentages. I tried doing that in the video of this guy right here
Mhm.
to kind of give a number of percentage difference of how different this is from a f5.5. I talked about the f.5 5.5 is a lot thicker than this on the stock. It's taller, the blade shape hole is different. This has a flipper, 5.5 does not. The pocket clip placement clip is completely different. I mean, there are a lot of little differences, but the silhouette without the flipper tab is like copy and paste f5.5, and that's what kind of threw off a lot of people, and they weren't really happy. And I noticed in my comment section, everybody was just like 5.5, f5.5, 5.5, and I was like, I'm not trying to promote a brand that does that. I think it was different enough, but believe it or not, from what I remember, that Peacock felt like it was built better than this thing. and
Really?
that essentially one of their really early budget knives. With this thing, it truly does feel like a no-name Amazon knife, and I remember that Peacock felt like it was built better. I don't know why, and I told them that. I told them that there are things that are here that shouldn't be, and that I know that they have better, I guess, fit and finish. And that was it. And they said thank you for your feedback, and that was it.
Yeah.
was
So this
kind of
is the Peacock right here, and then that is the
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So what's different?
I'll show you the Peacock once again. Here's the Peacock.
Okay. Hang on, let me really focus here.
Me too. I'm like all up in my camera.
This is the Ramette. Okay.
Uh-huh.
There's pickled steel.
Like nothing different.
I see a logo change
That's
on the
it.
blade.
Yeah.
The swedge is the same.
Yeah.
Plunge grind is damn near the same.
And this thing's 650 rubles? Forget it. Yeah.
So I don't know, and that like they've got other, like if you just go to their website on right here, so here's a bunch of their knives that you can get, and if you look through these knives, you will start to see familiar knives, and so that's why I was like, I don't know if you can say you're actually. Like they're saying like, hey, here's we took this design and we made it better. But a lot of times I don't know if they are making it better. If I'm being honest, like it looks like they're copying some of them.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of two sons in there, so
Yeah, there's a couple of Tucson's. There's a couple like even
Ooh,
like
that's the flat iron.
I was gonna say that's the Gerber flat iron right there.
That's definitely the flat iron.
That looks like the momentum with the flipper.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Go up again. Click on it.
Which one? This one?
Up higher.
Yeah. No,
Right there.
this one.
At first glance, yeah, click on it.
Huh.
It's a little different now, but that looked like the momentum of the flipper.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's once you
that.
yeah. So I mean, there
Remember,
are some.
there's another company called X.
Yes.
or
What I
Ed-
was gonna say, what does this look like to you?
Wow.
An Arius for 700 rubles. Not bad.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I don't know. They've worked with some of these companies. They've changed some designs and have said other stuff. But like that's another company that was like, "Hey, we'd love you to check out more stuff. Here's this." And I was like, "I'm not too sure how I feel about some of your designs."
I was actually looking into pickled steel because I wanted to make a joke with video
Mhm.
and Stevie and everything, but now I can't. Forget those guys. Those are straight up thieves, permission or not. They didn't change anything on that Peacock.
What's up, Sterling Stutes?
Mr.
I don't-
Stoots.
What's up, Sterling Stutes? How you doing? Kyle, it is not an AliExpress company, but
Should be.
we get them directly there. So that's why, like, I did a video on 2 of their knives that are original knives from them. So they do have some, but some of their other knives are not original designs from other people. So they've got like small South African designers that they work with that make some really cool stuff. And those are knives that I've done some videos on, but for the most part of them, it looks like they're borrowing other designs and making them better, and that's the pickling process that they do. So it's just different.
Their pickles suck.
I really like the idea, but like you were talking about earlier, the percentage, like if it's like 50%, whether it's blade material or the execution, or frame lock versus liner lock, or hollow versus not. I think maybe if they are working with actual custom makers and in-house designs, I think maybe they're just making other budget offerings for very popular patterns
Yeah.
just to get more exposure.
Josh, I think that's exactly what it is, because that's kind of what they described. They said like, "Hey, we work with Remet. We've got approval from Remet to put our name on it and make changes if we see fit." So I think and a lot of the knives that they've designed, or that they have as theirs, are Remet designs. But then they've got some others that we looked at that are like really close to an Arius, really close to an F5, really close to a flat iron. Like there's some other ones that are really kind of stuck in there. So I don't know what they're doing, but they have some really cool ones that are completely unique themselves. That are obviously a small designer designing stuff that's really cool, but then they've got some other stuff that's pretty close. So
I think maybe if they do get enough exposure, I would hope that they would move away from the copies and clones. Essentially, that's pretty much what they are.
Yeah.
I think it's to make a name. Like if they know something's popular, they're like, hey, we'll sell these and make a name for ourselves really fast. But I agree with Todd Carr. Why take other designs when you have great designers working for you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, what's up, Josh Worth? Welcome. How you doing tonight? Actually,
Josh
probably morning for you.
And Brond.
Josh.
And
How
Braun.
about Blurry? Sweet. Anonymous mode activated.
Anonymous mode. His voice gets all.
First name, last name.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say too much, but I'm pretty important in social media. I created a social media platform for people to talk to each other. You know, it's basically like reading faces. I created Facebook. I'm Mark Zuckerberg.
I'm not even gonna try to fix it.
What?
Happy belated
Blurry
birthday, man.
all for nothing. I don't even know how that happened.
Happy belated birthday, Brant.
Oh, did Brant have a birthday?
Yeah.
Didn't you hear?
How old is he now? 15?
17.
No. Didn't Brant turn like 43?
That sounds.
I think
right.
Brant's like 2 years younger than I am.
Yes. Shane's up in here? Ah.
I was just texting with Shane.
Chain.
I was using
Shane.
chopsticks, so that must have pissed him off.
What is up, Shane? How you doing? Good evening, guys.
The only thing from Remet that I still have is this little leather slip that I have a little tie pry bar. This is the first piece of tie that I'm actually gonna be practicing on doing some rock pattern work.
There's some really cheap there's some really cheap titanium pry bars you can get on Amazon.
Yeah, this thing was like $12, I think.
Yeah. I was going to do the same thing to practice. Once we get our garage cleared out, I was going to try and practice anodization over here. And I was going to get a bunch of different pry bars, like titanium pry bars, to practice anodization.
Now,
Try to make sure it's the same titanium that scales are made out of. There's different variants of titanium.
I want to get different ones so I screw up the scales when I actually do them.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's actually a good call out, though, because I wasn't
think
really
the
thinking about that.
6LV1 or something is whatever the numbers are and letters. That's what the most scales are.
This dude, the Scout 3.5,
Mhm.
I originally wanted to make this green. It just won't happen. I don't know what grade of titanium Best Deck is using for this, but it just won't go green. After it gets to kind of like high voltage, like pink and yellow, it doesn't. So I know Riot uses something a little bit different. I got the scapegoat here, and I would like to make this green. It's a very difficult color to achieve, but it is possible.
Thanks for the math there, sharp guy.
If Terry were here, he'd help you.
This one here, the Praxis from Wii, it went green immediately. I didn't have to redo it too many times.
Kyle said Kubitai doesn't anno that well.
Terry seems to disagree. Because his did okay.
Depends on the finish as well.
Yeah. I got it close with the Scout 3.5. I got it close. It wasn't consistent enough, and one was more blue, the other one was green, and no matter what I did to it, it just wouldn't happen. So I was like, you know what? I'll just shoot down a little bit lower, see if I can get something consistent.
I think I might send the Clydesdale to get purple from you.
Yeah, send it over, man.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll probably send it when I send the Kunwus over, but I might actually send the Kunwus first, because I think what I'm gonna try and do is similar to I think the coolest one I've seen is the one that Loot has with just kind of like the brush all over it. I thought that was so cool.
He had some like barking mill done to it.
Yeah,
I wanna try this stuff. I got some, what are they called? Tungsten carbide bits. Little dragon scales, but they have all these different little shapes to do like really fine work, and I wanna see if I could actually like get some sort of organic pattern.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm thinking if I have a cheap little piece of tie to work on, do my pattern, a little bit of sanding to kind of curve over any of the sharp edges, and then maybe put in some acid to kind of, soften it visually, darken it up a little bit, anodize over it. I think it'd look pretty cool.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be doing any expensive pieces anytime soon. So I don't want to take a Dremel to like a scapegoat or something.
Do it.
I won't do right away, but I definitely need some practice.
You should buy an Arius to practice on.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's first thing I work on is the Arius.
Did I tell you guys that I sold my Arius?
Yeah.
Finally sold it?
I did.
He owns another one. It's out there somewhere.
It was taken from me.
I actually have here. I pulled out all the knives that I have skiff thick washers in, and I'm very, very pleased with my findings with some of them. So the scapegoat, it's freaking awesome. Very smooth action, little to no side to side with thick washers once it's broken in.
Kyle.
The Asher Spiro, the Warncliffe one.
Oh yeah.
Just super aggressively snappy. I get no sort of like just sluggish that you would think would be with washers, but it's actually very enjoyable.
I want the Thai Spiro.
You want
Chased
the
them all the way.
I'm gonna start looking at a bunch of like rest stops in Alabama, see if I can find Stevie's that he left behind.
It's not in Alabama. It'd be up in Washington somewhere, or Oregon.
Oh, it is in Washington, Oregon? Okay.
I bet you it's in his truck still. He's gonna one day clean out his truck, and there it's gonna be.
His truck looks pretty clean from what I've seen.
You know how some stuff like falls in a crack or sits in like a track for the seat or something?
Yeah.
Probably sitting in something like that.
This is the one that I got from Dylan Mallory. He sold it to me for $100. The Wii Subjugator. He did
Nice.
a flipper tab delete, and I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, widened it, and I put thick wash in here, and it's actually very enjoyable.
Nice.
I had regular skiff bearings in here, and it just wasn't giving me that really satisfying droppy shut action that I thought I could achieve with some skiffs. But I put thick washers in here, and it's completely different, but it's still very enjoyable, very smooth, very easy to flick still.
This is better than the Arius.
Oh, absolutely. I got mine right here.
Not at all. I will take this any day of the week.
I did a flipper delete on mine.
I have one that's a flipper delete. I do,
It's
but not
frick-
titanium. That one's got micarta.
This thing's just elite. This thing's freaking awesome.
But not all of us can afford a wooden one. Richie ripped over the air. But you know what? If you got it, flaunt it, right?
And it's got magnetic detent.
That's
See?
pretty.
Mine just running on bulls.
Who's this guy that makes those Magnafolds or something like that?
No, this is Koenig.
What?
Arius. Yeah.
They made their own wooden one?
Yeah, 100%. I'm not making anything up right now.
He's definitely not. taking
No.
it.
It is from Magnafold, isn't it?
Yes, it's a Magnafold. I've got like 3 or 4 Magnafolds.
That's so cool.
This
Yeah.
thing's okay.
I have to handle
Yeah,
one.
I mean, that's just as good as like a McChicken at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday with
It gets the job done, you know?
yeah.
It'll hold you over.
Hmm.
The closest I was to actually being able to get one, JD for EDC selling his, I think like last year or 2 years ago, and I had stuff that I was willing to sell, and I told him, I said, dude, can just give me like a week. He was selling a it had the beautiful little micro milling, no flipper tab. I think it might have had gold hardware possibly.
Yeah.
$700. And I'm like, dude, you're basically giving it away.
That's
For
like table.
That's freaking awesome. But he was just like, no, I need it. I need the money like right now.
You wouldn't hold it for a week?
Y'all were talking about this earlier on your live, Maddie, but like there's a ton of it's a buyer's market right now for knives, and I think it's because there's so many people who are trying to get funds for Blade Show. Like, I'm gonna go buy something.
This is right now is the time to buy. People like me, like I don't go to shows because I just can't get the time off of work.
Mm-hmm.
And to get together the funds to go, like I know I'm gonna spend stupid.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to, and it's not a good idea for somebody like me to go to a show.
Hey,
Because-
the first year I went to Blade Show, I went to Blade West, and I was there. I went by myself, and I saw a couple people, which was kind of cool. Met a couple people, but I told myself I'm going with $700, and that's gonna be it, and that's awesome.
One night.
Yeah, well, I got there, and I got 2 knives, and then I'm walking back to the hotel, and I was like, yeah, I got tomorrow. I'm gonna walk around, talk with people, whatnot. And my wife calls me, and she was like, hey, I just found $400 cash in my wallet. Did you put that there? And I was like, no. Are you going to spend it? And she goes, I was going to put it in our account. And I was like, how about you let me buy another knife? And so we negotiated that she would take 200 and I would take 200. So then I ended up having $900 at Blade Show instead of $700.
Yeah.
I wish I
got-
had you rich people problems. I found $400. What should we do with it?
Right? It's like a
I'm
freaking
like, sweet, this gum under the desk is still fresh. Yes.
car payment right there.
Okay.
Found pants with $400 in it. Oh well.
Oh well. It went through the wash. Oh well.
Honestly, that's the one and only time that I have found money like that and been like, sweet, I know what I'm going to do with this. Was that the smart decision? No. But was it a decision? Yes.
It was a decision.
Do I have crippling credit card debt yet? I keep buying new knives yet.
Decision
No,
you
not-
made.
Not actually. I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad with credit card debt.
I've only ever sezzled one knife, and I did it because the only option was sezzle, because it was PayPal or sezzle. and at the time, my PayPal was frozen because we had moved 3 times within 6 months,
It's like
and
you're-
I kept updating my card on PayPal, and then eventually they were like, "Hey, we're gonna flag you as fraud. Nobody moves this much in 6 months," and I was like, I swear it's the same person, and so they froze me, and so I had to get it that day. So I did a Sezzle for that. But
Yeah, I'm with Shane and Donnie. You don't need money at Blade Show. You just go hang out with people and eat good food.
if this year Blade West, I'm not gonna go and try and buy anything.
But if you find pants with money in it, send them.
Absolutely. But is it true that some things or most things are cheaper at shows than online?
So here's the thing. People have said that, and I've heard people talk about it at like the shows.
Yeah.
I've been to 2 shows, and all the tables that I've talked to, unless it's a small maker, like in the smaller tables, none of the larger companies I've ever seen have been like, "Hey, if you give us cash, we'll give you a discount." They've all just been like, "Yep, it's the same price no matter what you use." And I will say the discount that they give you that I've seen, because like when I went to like the Concept and the Civivi and the Wii and the Kubi, like all those places, the Kaiser, their like knife prices were like their sale prices. It wasn't like anything crazy like, hey, this is going to be like 50%. It's like when their knives go on sale, you get that price. But everything is that price for the show, which is good.
I had the opposite. When I went to Blade Show West, I bought some Concept knives, and like one of them I bought for $100, and normally it's almost $300.
Yeah.
So,
see, I didn't have that experience.
But you usually you might find deals with custom makers, but a lot of times you won't because they're already like at their limit.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is what I expect. I hear from Donnie. My stuff will be the same price as always because I can't afford deals yet, and that's what I expect. What is up? How you doing, Sharif?
I'm doing all right.
Disgusted.
Getting over my allergy attack from earlier.
Did you have some watermelon?
Watermelon? What?
Yeah, Maddie's got watermelon. I was just wondering if you had any.
No.
I love watermelon. I
do have this though.
That is beautiful. That is so good.
You know how like pseudo jarring that was to like come into the office, sit down, and that's the first thing my eye went to. I forgot I had it.
It's your own fault.
It is.
See,
but it's,
Patina said it right there. Table price is always a thing.
Oh yes.
Usually the best deals you'll ever get outside of bro deals are at Blade Show tables.
Oh yeah.
And for the big OEMs and stuff and some other people, the last day is the best day to get sales because they don't want to take as much back. They don't want to check as many bags or send it on however they get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that if that was a thing too, where some more things would be on sale possibly. Because I had been to the only like expo or show I've ever been to. I've been to like gun shows where they have some knife brands, but nothing crazy. Also some pet expos. I've been to the Orange County Pet Expo like 2 or 3 times. They have all types of just weird ass exotic animals. And I was this freaking close to buying a scorpion. It was really cool. I got one like $50 for it. The day before, it was $150.
Oh damn.
So
you don't want to ride with that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was told that, scorpions could be pretty low maintenance versus other exotic pets.
What kind of exotic pets can you buy at this Exotic Pet Expo?
Can
you buy a monkey? I'll just get to the point.
No monkeys.
Forget it then.
Forget
If I can't have a little capuchin named Mojo walking around a diaper with me, I don't want it.
Why Mojo?
No.
Why not?
Mojo? No.
I mean, It's a great question.
Jojo.
Yeah, dude, Mojo Jojo.
No, I mean it's mainly just reptiles. They have some exotic fish, like all
I
the
got enough reptiles here.
fancy betta fish.
We saw a snake today.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah. On our hike.
Stevie was here just a minute ago. Big whoop.
were you able to ID it or no?
Speaking of snakes,
No, we saw a snake today. It was like maybe like 18 inches. It was like a little black corn snake with 2 yellow stripes down the back.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Brian, Transparent Knives.
What up, Brian?
What's up, dude?
Brian, look what I received today.
He has to take it off his boner first.
Yeah. basically.
What on earth is that?
Ooh,
It's a
bigify him.
knife.
Bigify him.
I'm trying to.
It's the button that bigifies.
Yeah, but when I double click on my mouse, it zooms everything in.
What the hell?
This is a 2014 Gustavo Cecchini custom knife.
Who's that?
This.
Oh, basically the guy whose name is on my knee pads. Yeah, this was gifted to me by a really awesome person, and it is a beast,
That's awesome.
dude. And this edge here is sharp. You can see
That's the
the
part that
bevel.
surprised me when he said that earlier.
That's weird.
That's
I
where
thought
you
that
would put
was
your
a fat
finger.
churro.
That is very weird.
Yeah, you can trigger finger it like this, but you can't put your finger here.
When you showed it just like this, I was like, "Oh wow, that's got to be like an awesome, forward finger grip." Yeah, maybe not.
The reason that he's been chasing a Cecchini custom for years.
Yeah,
And
it's
now he has one.
Oh, look who decided to wake up and be here.
Oh, meh.
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 Mm.
You have a roly poly colony? That's cool. Those are neat
Hey.
little isopods.
Who has a roly poly collection?
If
Zero
you read
bite.
your chat there,
Oh wow,
0 bites.
what the hell?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I got my roly poly soap on a rope.
I found 2 slugs today, actually.
Did you eat them?
He was
No, I
very.
tried to get Ethan to eat one, but he shook his head no right away.
And
I don't usually finger my knives.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
and Gustavo Cecchini is not for everybody, but he is one of the most adventurous knife makers, willing to take chances that nobody else is willing to,
It looks
which is
like-
why I really like him.
when you showed it, I thought it was possibly a work in progress, maybe like an unfinished piece of some sorts. It just kind of has that look.
Yeah, this is like early in his career too. Like, this is a 10-year-old knife, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2014.
Let me
That's
see.
quick math right there.
Slow down with those numbers.
Pretty smart.
Wow.
We're gonna say.
I'm trying to see what year. So he started making knives in 2006.
Oh,
That's 18 years.
Yeah.
That was 18 years, Maddie.
I like that one joke that's like, what are your skills? Well, I'm quick at math. Okay, what's 40 times 6? 9,422. No, that's wrong. But it was quick though, right?
It was quick.
But I was quick though, right? I didn't say I was right. I said I was quick.
Kyle, I do love a good Brazilian butt lift.
Well, fellas, my dog apparently will not. She's not listening to me. She'll go nuts out there.
Oh, damn.
I don't know what's going on. I think there's a rabbit stuck in our backyard or something, but the rest of the family's sleeping, so I gotta go tend to the dog.
Yeah.
You come back.
So,
Thanks for jumping on.
You coming
I
back?
mean, I don't want to keep coming on and leaving, coming on and leaving. I think that's rude. So I'm just gonna bow. I'll be listening though.
All right, cool.
Have a good night,
Good
Steve.
seeing you, Nathan. We'll be in touch. Sharif, good seeing you. Maddie, Steven, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Later, dudes.
Enjoy your
Peace.
Bye bye, everybody else. Oh, thanks, Kyle.
Bye. So, Steven, if you don't mind me picking your brain,
Mhm.
feedback.
Oh, dude, I really love it. Stevie made sure, like the first thing he said, "Hey, take it in and out of your pocket, just see how it feels." And I was like, "All right," and it is like seamless in and out of my pocket. And I was wearing some hiking pants that had a little bit thicker of a pocket earlier today as well.
Yeah.
So that pocket clip I really like, and like
Nice.
full transparency, I'm gonna steal that kind of like design on the clip for a future future knife, because
Hey.
that was genius, man. It fits so well. The ting when you close it
Yeah.
is sexy. It is so good. It sounds so nice, man.
Awesome.
And I like that. I was talking a little bit about the thumb studs with Ethan and Stevie today. This is my opinion. I don't think you need, I mean, I know you've already made your decision, because I don't think you need to change them. I
Yeah.
think they're fine. I think if it was something like, I know you're going to, and I fully respect why you're doing it and everything too.
Yeah.
But if it was something where it was like a different company used that exact thumb stud on every single one of their knives, yeah, sure. But using it on one design and not even being like the integral part of that design, I think it's stupid that someone says something about it personally. Like that's not the hallmark for something. So, and I thought they felt fine and they were good, but I came home and looked at a bunch of other thumb studs that I have, and I was like, I'm pretty sure like half these thumb studs are one milled line away from that design right there. So like I just think that whole thing is stupid. But the design itself, really love the blade. I love the geometry of it. It is thin, but not too thin. It's not like I compared it thickness wise to like my Veritas. Like it feels really good in hand with this. It's a really nice knife. It's almost like a classier tactical version of a Savenza in my mind. So like you have a really nice fit and feel to it. I know the front stop for the stop pin is designed for that stop pin, but I could like roll over with my finger and front flip on that. Like you could do the Bic, and then I could like with my pointer finger roll over on it too, which was really nice, because I know it wasn't designed that way, but the fact that I have a secondary and third opening method was really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw in Maddie's, like I'm to the point where in Maddie's chat earlier, I was like, Sharif, let me buy your prototype. Let me buy your prototype. Like I know you have 2 of them. Let me buy one of them from you.
You get the best with it. Some of us aren't friends enough to touch it.
Oh, it's coming. Don't worry.
So that was how much I enjoyed it a lot. So
Nice.
I think this design will be more community friendly too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you know that, but that's where I think this design will be much more community friendly. I think the Kaimano is like, this is Sharif right here.
Right.
Like I love the tacticalness. I love the Poon. I love this. And it was really nice. And so, but this one I think will be more community friendly, and I'm really excited for it.
Dude, the thumb studs, I wanted to change them obviously because they're not mine, or they're not like a generic one per se. But I also did notice on a few occasions, because of the angle, it's a weird thing. You wouldn't think about it, but I've got to almost make contact with the blade in order for me to get the leverage to open them.
Yeah.
And with the new design that I submitted, they don't triangle, like the peak doesn't go so low on like the tip of them. So it's a little bit higher up, which should give a little bit more leverage. And I've increased the diameter by 0.3 millimeters. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's, I don't know, whatever all right, quick math. What is 0.3 out of 6? It's like whatever percentage larger,
Yeah.
But it'll look and feel like a little bit nicer, a little bit more robust, and then the jimping.
It's about 18%.
There you go.
He puts his calculator down.
Yeah, I had a knife.
And then, the jimping on the back is going to be way more aggressive, because now it's like a suggestion and not so much like it's just texture. It's not actually like functional. So, yeah, dude, I'm excited for it. I think people will really dig it, actually. So, and I may sell one of the OG prototypes. We'll see.
Steve there has dibs.
Yeah, he clearly does.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think you should change anything much about it.
Yeah.
Especially the materials coming through, because you decided you're going to stick with M390, right? Or are you doing
No,
MagnaCut?
going MagnaCut.
MagnaCut. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to do MagnaCut on the actual production, and then you're going to stick with just the one variation of titanium.
Yeah.
I think that's good, because I really, really like the titanium version. It's a knife that I would want to have a second one on it. Like, there's a few knives that I do. It's a knife that I would want to have a second one and like get color done and maybe texturing done to it.
Yeah.
But it is I like it exactly as it is, like the finesse, the finish of it. It is really good. So yeah, I like it.
I like a good thumb stud sheen.
Shane, you're gonna hate me in the future because I'm gonna even do a thumb disc knife in the future.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, thumb disc the world, thumb disc supremacy.
What's that guy right there?
Which one, mine or Steven's?
What do you have, Sharif?
This is a Trizola ATCF OG that he did with Fox Knives.
Nice.
Yeah.
Usually it's an Emerson, because Sharif has 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
So the first premium knife I ever bought myself was the Drop Knives exclusive Trizola ATC.
The ATCF, yeah.
That was the first like nice knife. I think it was maybe like $150 or something like that I ever, years ago. First channel I ever watched was Neves Knives, and he was just raving about it and talking all this and that, and I'm like, I don't know what this guy is saying. I know nothing this guy is saying, but it looks cool. I want it. I got it, and I'm like, I feel like a badass. This thing's awesome. And then I started noticing that, the thumb disc is a little bit weird. It's a little uncomfortable until I started actually hitting it right, and it felt awesome. It's just it. Not so much with your nail, because then it starts to feel a little weird. It's more of like the fat of your finger.
Yeah, you gotta like put the middle of your thumb like against it, like directly, and then it pops.
Once I finally figured that out for my own comfort's sake, I was like, this is awesome. I freaking love this thing. But since then, I don't think I've had another thumb disc operating knife before.
They are universally the least popular knife opening method, like across the board. It's really funny. Like number one is always like a hole right now, like nowadays, you know. But yeah, people prefer the holes or flippers. And then, or actually, I think number two was actually thumb stud, and flipper are tied for number two, and then thumb discs are like way down. But I'm telling you, man, they're really good, and especially when you're like trying to put your thumb on the spine, it gives you like a much bigger surface area to like
work with.
It spreads out a lot of force from your thumb, and it does feel good sitting on that on the spine.
Yeah. People will learn. Exactly, Bettina.
Or like front flippers, good old front flippers.
I don't understand why people don't like. I mean, I get like not being able to do a front flipper, but other than that, I think front flippers are fantastic. I really like front flippers.
They're terrible. There's no need for them to exist.
I love them.
I don't mind them. I just don't like when they're my only option. You know,
I understand that, and I totally agree with that. And now I have knives that are only front flipper as well. Like as I say that, but it's because I really like front flippers, and I'm able to do them very well. So
yeah,
I
mean, you definitely can, because if you can roll over on the prototype and do that, like I can't even do that with this thing, you know. And it's like, dang, okay.
The first front flip I ever had was a little Feist, and I'm like, this is weird. This is a little odd. But once I got it, I was, with the side of my finger, and I'm like, it's not too bad.
Feists are really nice knives. I just wish that they would make them with a hollow grind. Like, I dig them. I just want them to
XL. It really should have come with a hollow grind. There's plenty of blade there to remove. I'm sure some people have customized them a little bit.
Yeah, like
we were actually talking about that earlier, about things that should be hollow ground. Just for the better. And some people aren't the biggest fans of hollows, maybe prefer flats for rigidity reasons. But I like hollows. I think that they're definitely a welcome thing. I mean, there's a couple things that I wish I had hollows on.
It's one of my first front flippers. Love this one.
My MSI, I was messing with it a little bit. It's an awesome knife, but it's way too freaking thick for its relatively short height of the black hole. I haven't seen anybody hollow grind one of them yet, but if someone can do it and make it look good on something like a Spartan Harsey, I'm sure this isn't too far off from looking good. So this definitely needs a hollow. And it's the M390 MK. It is kind of soft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it feels like
dang.
So I'm not the biggest fan of the steel, but you know what? I have a decent sharpening system. I can throw it on there, and I can sharpen it up pretty quick. Something else that has, there's this thing. This is the Scapegoat. It has their M390, and it's noticeably soft. I'm not too sure why. I've sharpened plenty of other things in M390, but this was very easy to sharpen, and it doesn't have that certain sound on the stones. But at least to me, it does feel significantly softer than other M390.
I think the problem I always had with M390 is like a lot of the OEMs will do it to like 60 HRC when really it needs to be like 61, 62 HRC to be in its like sweet spot. And it's funny because like I see all of these people, and Shane and Kyle can correct me on the HRC for M390, but yeah, like they just heat treat it too soft, and whatchamacallit, like it's, I don't know, it's, for me it's a really overhyped steel for what it is, you know.
And years ago, when I hopped on into the hobby, I was like, M390, what is this thing? Oh, it's only Thai frame locks. This must be like the grail of all blade materials.
Yeah.
It was some awesome marketing, that's for sure. I think it got a lot of people. That's, yeah, definitely.
Well, what's crazy to me is we still have brands who are charging nearly like $400 for mass-produced, Chinese M390. Like it'd be different if it was, like Bradford or like a smaller, like USA-based brand.
Yeah.
But even them, they're not charging that much for like better heat-treated steel.
Yeah, this little dude, this was my wedding carry. This is a little Sativian knife. I think it was like maybe $90. It has M390.
Yeah.
And I will say that this feels just as good as the one on the re-up produced one.
Yeah.
Sativian, So, I mean, it's good for what it is, but I don't think it actually merits the crazy markup.
Yeah.
You still see on a lot of, I guess, simple designs, not coming from any crazy small batch, U.S. production company.
Yeah. Like
Small batch.
that's one of the reasons why I'm gonna go with MagnaCut, because Riot told me straight out, like they HRC M390 to 60, but they'll do MagnaCut at 63.
That's yeah,
So
absolutely.
like just that, and the price difference is literally, what did I tell you guys, like $3 price difference per unit,
Wow,
so
insane.
yeah, I'll go with the better all-around steel in a proper heat treat, versus a steel that may have a little bit better edge retention in theory, but with a worse heat treat. So I'm not gonna get, the actual properties that I need out of the steel.
I mean, if they're saying they could actually hit it at 63, just 60, probably, that sounds incredible. That sounds like well heat treated MagnaCut.
Yeah.
Those are the numbers that I've always been, hearing thrown around. It was a sweet spot for MagnaCut. And even there were a couple of companies that very early on into the release of MagnaCut, they were putting things out and trying to treat it as M390.
Yeah. Well,
61.
That's like Transparent Knives had a good conversation about that a while back, where it's just like, dude, like Laren Thomas was, he said in like one of his videos or an interview, I can't remember what was the context, but he said like 61 HRC is okay, and people took that as like, oh, that's where it should be, which is not what he said. Like 60,
like he meant bare bottoms, like acceptable.
yeah, exactly. Like 63.5, I think, is like supposed to be the ideal balance point. Like you can heat treat it higher, but like if you want a good balance of all of its characteristics, right? Like toughness, wear resistance, and corrosion resistance, like 63.5 is like kind of the ideal. So yeah, like I would much rather deliver something it's like, let's even say it's plus or minus like a half a HRC, right? Like I'd much rather be closer to like perfect you know, or like an ideal range for the HRC versus obviously a soft heat treat on like M390, you know?
If the info comes out and on the specs sheet or whatever, and it says, oh, it's actually 62 to 63, but when people go to test it and they're actually surprised that it's harder than that, and then that's going to get a little bit more praise. Like, you guys are actually hitting it really hard. You got to pay attention to this company. That's pretty good. Because I remember watching a bunch of
Shane.
Love Them Knives. He does a lot of testing of things like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he's done anything with Magnica, but I remember with some budgety stuff that he got tested on. Some D2 and some 14C28N was coming in significantly harder than what the companies put out on their spec sheets, and people were like, holy crap, that's actually really impressive.
Yeah, but I think that goes back to what Shane was saying up here is China was ruining good steel reputation. Like D2 is a very good steel still.
Yeah.
It's a great steel.
But it gets a bad reputation because of knives that's been made with it. Like honestly, I'm curious to see where like because S45 and S35 are so cheap now because everyone's leaning towards Magnica M390. Heck, Neves just had his knife that he dropped yesterday, the video about for K390 and other stuff. Like people are leaning more towards some of these knives. There's a lot of new knives that are coming out with S35, S45, I think, and I'm curious to see how the heat treats come back on those when people start testing them, and if people are going to start not trusting S35 or S45 anymore, which would really suck because those are also two fantastic steels.
Yeah, like when I did the Kaimano, like I worked it out with Kaiser because they were heat treating it at 60. And I asked them just to bump the heat treat to like 61 because that's like a sweet spot for S35, you know? And they were like, yeah, we can do it. And I had a really, really long, somewhat heated conversation with Lefty about this where I'm like, dude, we're buying enough product in volume, like us small companies here in the US, where like we need to start demanding higher quality, you know, product from them.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, just for the people in chat, right? Like an order of like 300 knives from China and just 300, which is like a minimum order quantity, right? You're looking at between $30,000 and $40,000. Right? Like if I'm going to send you upwards of $40,000, right? And that's on a small batch. And some of these other companies, you know, other brands, they're ordering 1,000 units, right? So they're placing 6-figure orders with these companies, right? I want the shit to be done properly. I'm sorry. Like I'm small time, you know, but if I'm sending you a 5-figure check, right, I want my product done properly, straight up, you know. And I didn't watch Neves' video, Steven, but did he mention the HRC on that K390?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I know the biggest like thing that he mentioned was it was going to be a K390 with DLC coating, and then a lot of people, but he said Riot was doing it. Yeah. And then a lot of people jumped on and said, "Hey, hold on a second. Riot has come out and said they don't do DLC; they only do PVD. So, are you wrong, or is Riot wrong? Because if you're getting PVD, that's different than DLC." And so a lot of people went back and forth on that for a while. Really, I think what it is people, and you notice Neves never said anything either because it's all those comments from people arguing for him and against him and whatnot are just great for his channel. But like really, when it comes down to it, like I think there are too many people in the knife community, and y'all could hate me for this, who get overly sensitive about the technicalities of some of these things. When like if you go back to it, this is what a lot of us are doing.
Yeah.
I would say a good 85 to 90% of us are using our knives for cutting sandwiches, slicing paper, because we're putting it in a collection. Because I mean, we're not going out hard using our knives every single day, and when we do, we don't hard use, like, rarely do we go out and hard use a knife like this, or rarely do you see someone going out and hard using a knife like this. Like Steve Klur is an exception. He goes out and hard uses everything.
Yeah.
But so if Steve Klur wants to complain about something, I will listen to him, and he has a very valid complaint. But when people complain about their hard use knife not being able to be hard use, and their hard use is just like cutting paper or cardboard, like, okay, cool, awesome, thank you for your compliment, I appreciate that, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, the biggest grain of salt ever, and just move on to someone else, because you will find these comments, like Josh said, on everyone's channel. But, yeah, I like to see that though, Kyle, because S45 is one of my favorite steels. I absolutely love S45. That's why a lot of my knives are S45.
I have yet to handle good S45. I will say that the
I want to see this. Sorry.
The lowest quality S45 that I have experienced so far is from a Hinderer knife. The last Hinderer that I had,
Oh yeah.
the XM18 3.5. Love the shape, love the ergonomics, love damn near everything about the knife. A person like me is never going to push that knife anywhere near its limit. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
This is so nice. Your opponent is going to give you a nice warm beverage while you are fighting him. A nice little tea bag to get you all hydrated and ready while you're fighting him.
That's so considerate, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's a very considerate opponent.
But yeah, that Hinderer's S45, it was just a little too easy to sharpen. Just a little too easy. And it made zero ring, zero, I guess, hardness feeling when I went to go sharpen it. And it was just, I just knew it just wasn't good. But I think patient, what they're going for, leaning more towards toughness. I guess it didn't feel right, especially for the price. I mean, they're getting them up front and brand new, they're probably like, what, $450.
Yeah,
that's a good bit of money. I think it's money well spent if you really do enjoy the design, and you like the shape and the ergonomics and all. But if you're one who really cares for HRC and making sure that that's the best it could possibly be, Hinder is not the one.
I heard Hinder is terrible in every single way possible.
Yeah.
I have a question for Shane. He keeps talking about Devo and stuff.
He loves Devo.
What am I missing though?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out too. Someone mentioned my hat. I was like, I like Devo. I've got the Devo hat on right now. I've got a bunch of Devos in a little thingy down below.
Currently own no Devos anymore. Sold them all off.
I bought one of your Devos.
Yeah.
He went click click.
This one, by the way, you guys, is the material list directly from Riyadh that I received, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see their handle material on handle finish, blade steels that they offer, and the blade finish.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do offer like K390. You can see that like right here. And they don't say specifically if it's PVD or DLC. They literally put like a slash there, right? But I'm inclined to say that it is DLC because DLC is heat applied. I don't know about PVD.
Kyle was saying DLC is a form of PVD.
Yeah, Kyle would know better than I do. I will say the one thing, though, that they even told me is that their K390 is done at 63 HRC, but if you PVD it, that will drop to 61.
Well, and that's what someone else said that they said in here too. Someone, where did I see it? Someone was saying, oh, it was Kyle. Yeah. Riyadh said for K390 at 63 for Satin and 61 for their DLC, so it drops it. Neves in his video at one point says DLC coding's amazing because it brings your HRC basically up to 90. And I was like, wait, what? How?
It's the opposite.
I was like, how are we doing this? Like, I was confused, and I was only half. I'm gonna be honest. I was halfway listening to it. I was going through.
He was doing fast math.
Neves is actually a pretty smart guy. Like, for all the stuff that we give him, sometimes he's actually a pretty smart guy.
He's sending me a proto, which I'm very happy for.
Awesome.
Yeah, don't know when or from who because he's doing a little pass around thing. But I practically begged him. I was just like, please, please, please send me one. I thought it was a really cool looking knife, and there's a lot of little enthusiast things that I know I would definitely appreciate.
I like the texturing that he put on it. It has kind of like it looks like a hammered texturing, like you would for like a wedding band, like a hammered wedding band. That's what it looks like to me. So
yeah, I think it's pretty neat looking. I did notice that. So if it is being made by Riyadh, it looked like it actually had a access on both sides of the pivot screw.
Yeah.
That he mentioned later in the video that he wanted to put his little logo milled, not laser etched, but he wanted to do a milled one. So I'm thinking, is it going to be a captured pivot? Because I know that's something that he kind of gripes about a lot, about companies having captured pivots, but
I don't understand why companies do captured pivots. Like, Sharif, you might be able to explain a little bit of that to me, but like, how hard is it just to put a flat edge on it and make it a D-shaped pivot so it's not captured? And like, how is that affecting the design aspect of the blade? Like, I don't think it's affecting really anything on the blade more than just the hole that is milled or drilled through for the pivot.
So the one person who would actually know more about this than me is Satu Dave. Okay. He is the first person that I've ever seen. It was one of his like few critiques about the Kaimano, because that D shape like style pivot, that is the captured pivot, right? Like when you do like a traditional barrel pivot, that's non-captured, right? And so he mentioned that captured pivots have a distinctly different feel to him. And it's not something that I have personally noticed, but I like him to, it's something that I want to have a conversation with him about, just to know, like, okay, what is this thing that he's feeling that I haven't picked up on? Because I'm usually very sensitive to like small details like that. And he said there's a different feel. I can tell you, when you have a really properly done like barrel pivot, it does have a certain smoothness to it. And it does feel smooth through the whole action. But I don't know, maybe with captured pivots, there's like, I don't know, sometimes maybe just a hint of pivot lash initially in the movement. And that's the only thing that I maybe could point to, but I won't say that with any knowledge or authority. Like, I admit this is something I'm not super well knowledgeable about,
So I've seen pivot barrels where just one end is D-shaped and not all the way through. So that allows for full cylindrical contact, basically, where you don't feel if, of course, it's well made. Like the Scapegoat made by Riyadh, it's free spinning. You have access to both sides with the T8 face, but so it's technically not captured on either end or D all the way down. And it's super buttery smooth. It is insanely smooth with bearings. I have thick washers in it right now just to try to get a feel for it. I like it. It's nice. But with bearings, that thing is dangerously smooth. It is insanely smooth, and I think that it is because it has full contact of the cylindrical pivot.
Yeah.
And other things that I've had in my collection that is D all the way through the whole barrel shape.
Yeah.
It almost has a little spot where it just kind of feels like it almost lets go of the surface tension.
Yeah.
It's happening so fast you gotta
don't
be a
pick it up
really
initially.
sensitive person to really feel. So I mean that may be what that guy is talking about, where it feels like the blade almost lets go or skips a beat as it's on its way down.
I think you're right, because that's probably the most apt description of what I was like trying to explain. Like I know what you're talking about. Like I prefer, if you can, do that D shape on the end, right?
Yeah.
Like milled right at the very, very end,
Yeah.
because
Where the
one of
liner or the frame, actually goes around it and just holds at the very end.
yeah, because I have my what's it called? My Vero Synapse XL, completely free spinning, and it's one of the worst fucking experiences I've ever had, because like, dude, the screws would back out all the fucking time on it, and it got to the point where like the pivot like in the center would shift centers. You had to basically screw both sides perfectly balanced in order for it to stay like properly centered, and it was so annoying. I finally put some
Loctite.
it's not Loctite, it's a Vibratite. I had to use Vibratite to prevent the
That even is.
to prevent the pivot screws from like backing out. I honestly, I kind of hate that knife,
Jeez.
but yeah, I want to sell it, but I want to sell it when the prices aren't so rock bottom like they are right now.
I'm taking apart this Full-Tice Spiro because I think this might be one of them where just the very end is D-shaped. I think. I'm not too sure.
Tina's got me wanting to go to bed now.
I was gonna be singing you a little song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's skipping through fields of wild mustard. Innocent little baby sleeping Marty.
I will. Yeah. No, never mind. It's actually just D all the way down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, that's where you like to make it.
Where one side is of the actual inset liner, it is D shaped.
Yeah. And
I just want to mention one more time, I did not realize it was 11:30 already, but which is crazy. But I wanted to mention the EDC Roundtable poker chips. I'm gonna pick mine up as soon as we jump off here. I got my laptop to the side. Get yourself an EDC Roundtable poker chip. You can also get a chip clip, like a poker chip slip, not a chip clip. You can get a chip slip, which fits any sort of the 40 millimeter challenge coins or a standard poker chip. And you can get those from Lancelot Leather, which is pretty sweet. And you can use, as of today, I've got a code with EDC Roundtable, WKB10, 10% off EDC Roundtable, anything from EDC Roundtable. So yeah. I think I'll try to get a few knives and stuff, make a little big package for my son's end of the year award day. So if y'all see your name on a post like it came from me, it's only half lying, right? Very much so. Mm-hmm.
Shane, they're not talking bearings, but the blade itself rides on the pivot.
Yeah.
And maybe for a split second, when the pivot's gone, because it's on that flat side, the blade just falls just a little harder.
Yeah.
Just a little harder.
Just a smidge.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
All right.
Sachi was the one who brought it up, so it's been in my mind ever since. So if you really have a question about it, Shane, talk to Satu.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
think the difference with Satu is he's so used to handling big old giant chunky custom made bricks that when he
Yeah.
holds like a Chinese knife, they do feel a lot different.
Yeah.
Satu's the man, though.
He is.
We are cooking up something together, me and Satu. I'm very excited.
Is it lumpia?
Yeah.
Right.
Love me some lumpia.
I could go for some lumpia. Oh, Fed Harrison got his.
All right, all back together.
Nice. Shane, it does though. If you have something that's a D shape versus a full circle, you're missing 20%, 25% of the contact surface area. So
Fed Harrison, I got mine last night too. I should be here Monday.
heck yeah.
Monday.
Cool. Thank you everybody for sticking around.
You're welcome.
I
We get
appreciate
paid
it.
after or
Yeah. I'll pay you afterwards.
okay, thank you.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna send it to your Venmo account. It's Pretty Pink Princess, still correct?
That's
Pretty Pink Princess of AZ.
that's the one, yes.
All right, cool.
Pretty pink princess.
Cool. Awesome. I'll be sending that to you afterwards. Nighty night, chicas. Nighty night, chicas.
Wow, I actually made it to the end. My wife came like 4 times. She's like, "Are you coming to bed?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I got like 3 text messages that popped up on my phone or on my screen, like, "Hey, I'm trying to hang on till you come out, but I'm going to bed now." And I was like, "All right,
It was
whatever."
like, "You have work in like less than 4 hours," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Mhm.
I know. So
All right, I will. Jacob, thanks for joining right at the end here. Maybe you've been here the whole time. Apologies if I haven't seen you, but we're closing down. I don't have a SOCOM Elite. I don't know if any of these 3 have a SOCOM Elite, but I don't think so. But join us next Wednesday, Jacob. We will be jumping on and maybe we'll talk about that. Farewell to all y'all. Until next time.
good
See ya.
night, guys.